Hello. There we are. Right. Hello, everybody. How you doing? How's your week been? Who's actually here? We have F7, who is RMAing the stream. Dave and Ish. Awesome. Wasn't Super User here as well? My chat's refreshed since, but yeah. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Where are we? Where are the groupies at, huh? Let me check that it's all good on. Cool. Right, that should be all sorted. Apparently there's 0 people watching according to YouTube, so that's great. Oh, an ad just started on Twitch, must be time. Nice. Hello F7, how you doing? 2 watching. Awesome. That's that's great. I actually haven't got a notification yet. So there we go. Notifications here. Right. Where's the notification squad at, huh? Yeah, how's your guys' week been? Could have felt that out before. Ah well. Never mind. Doing good. Awesome. Nice. What's the delay like? Let me know, cause so we got 5 watching now according to YouTube. That's great, but let me know with the let me know in the chat how delayed that is for you. Who is this person? Where is Andy? I got glasses, yeah. Got 2 pairs. Come in funky cases. That one's all wrapped up. Yeah, they're don't know if you'll be able to read it. There you go. Dunlop. Oh my god, it's you! I know, right? Got me Iron Brew, so ready for the night in front of the PC after a day in front of the PC. I know, right? We should call the other guy Clark. TechteamGB, nice. Ashen 1, thoughts on Assassin's Creed Odyssey PC performance? It's not something that I have. It's I don't actually know that many people that have it on PC. The majority of people have console. Was there a story specifically this week about Assassin's Creed Odyssey like performance? Because if there was, I haven't necessarily seen it. I'm just gonna move the chat down a wee bit because it's like overlapping at the top. Hello Colin, how you doing? Colin, did you become a Patreon recently? Or a patron? However you say it. Hello Jura, you did just become a patron. Yeah, you're $5 tier. Nice, awesome. Thanks, man. That's awesome. Welcome to the club. Feel free to join the Discord if you haven't already. There's the Money Men chat. There's always some fun times in there, isn't there? Jura and or F7 and or Ish occasionally. But yeah, thanks, man. That's greatly appreciated. And yeah, hello Chris, how you doing? How's your week? Basically, it performs guff on anything mid-range. Okay, fair enough. That's quite awful. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Colin. Mr. Long, because I'm gonna horrifically butcher your first name and that's going to be bad. I have a random question about phones and their audio capabilities. Does the higher res 192K 24-bit work with all forms of outputs like USB Type-C, Bluetooth headphone jack, or is it just Type-C? So I think it very much depends on what phone and output. So let me clarify a few things. So it depends on how the adapter works, how the USB Type-C port works, in terms of what connection it's passing through, and then depends on the headphones you have, right? So the trouble that you have, right, is that a headphone jack is an analog connection, which means that any processing that the phone does is the final processing that the audio, like, that your headphones will get. So when I plug in my, you know, just wired headphones that have a, well, in this case 4-pole, but normally a 3-pole headphone jack, there's basically no electronics in between that and this, give or take, which means that the DAC actually does all of its processing, you know, kind of as and when. So 192K 24-bit DAC you will see the benefit from that. But when you have Bluetooth, when you have digital, so when you have, you know, like an actual USB set of headphones, you then are passing the final audio processing to the headphones or to whatever middleman is in between there. So that's when it becomes a bit of a problem for audio quality. It's not necessarily the end of the world, but it can be, you'll have, you know, in terms of if you were to measure it, you will have lower quality on the digital side than you will on an analog side or something with amazing final stage encoding or decoding, I suppose. Anyway, collects, I'm not really sure. How old are you again? You're like 15, 14? And I do have an important question. When do you think Windows will release 1809 as an automatic update? Is a force update safe? I want to try RTX. So yeah, so I don't know when the 1809 is going to be a mainstream release. I think you're probably looking at a couple of months, maybe into early January, depends. To you know, finish off the kind of roll out bug fixes and that sort of stuff. Otherwise, you're talking about force updating. That's also fine. You may encounter some bugs. There was an initial bug when they launched the update that wiped people's C drives, so careful where you get the update. But yeah, it's just be careful there. Collects 14, fair enough. So the owing your parents money is certainly a negative state to be in. The best thing that I would do is that ask them how you can repay them. So whether that's like doing chores or whether that's like whatever else, you know, whether you try and get like a paper round job or whatever else, or like all that jazz, you know, try and do that. Joe, no worries, man. I'm mixed, but I'm getting by, so it's fine. Delios, hello. I got my 1080 Ti, but can't decide which CPU, 9600K or 2600X. Gonna play on a 140 or 240 hertz monitor and stream sometimes. Is it going to be Intel? Is it going to be okay with the Intel MVNC with no stutters? Yeah, that would be fine. That's probably, especially if, let me roll it back. So if you're running a 240 hertz monitor, obviously that means that you know, have 1080p only, because that's, you know, you can't get 1440p 240 hertz monitor. So if you're running 1080p, then it's all good. And yes, the 9600K is where I'd recommend. If you are doing 1440p, like, so if you're doing 1440p at 144 hertz, then the Ryzen might be a better choice, or starting to look like a better choice, especially in terms of value for money, or even at the same sort of price you're looking at a 2700, or even not too far off a 2700X. So it's a bit of an interesting choice, but the Intel chip, especially streaming with NVENC, will be perfectly fine, yeah. Dave, my new Samsung 28-inch 4K monitor arrived yesterday. Not too bad for £199 in PC World. That's not bad at all. I mean, I remember when that monitor was £300 and that was kind of like crazy cheap. So to see £200 for a 4K monitor is also pretty impressive. So yeah, nice. Is it TN, VA, IPS? Which one is it? I think the 2080 Ti is the only RTX card anyone should buy. 2070, 2080 is a joke. Get a GTX card. Generally, I would agree. It kind of depends on the pricing though. If you can get, so I know that in some areas and from some resellers and stuff, it's pretty hard to get a GTX card right now just because stocks are so low. So in that case, unless you're willing to go on the used market, which is certainly a viable option if you want to, but unless you want to go used, then sometimes in certain price brackets, a 2070 or sometimes even 2080 are currently all that are available. But it very much depends on where you are, what stock availability all the different distributors and stuff have. So yeah, generally speaking, I would agree with you. And ish, indeed. Glenn, yeah, so Element Gaming, at £229, I think it's probably worth it, yeah. Even at 270, it's still generally worth it. It's obviously the one that I had, as you probably saw in the review, I had some quality issues with it. They weren't realistically, besides the stand, there was nothing, you know, critically failed on it, so I really don't have a problem with it. It's a little bit annoying because, well, obviously you are buying a cheap OEM monitor. You still want it to all be, you know, in one piece and all that sort of stuff. So generally speaking, yeah, that it's still probably worth the money. Why, thank you, Mr. Long, and that is awesome. I'm happy to help. Yeah, I mean, are you using you said you're using mobile, right? No worries, Glenn. Yeah, so as I said, generally worth it. I just hope that yours isn't as tricky as mine. Did I miss anything? Galaxy Dark, hello. I'm gonna buy a Ryzen configuration. Was looking at B450 or X470, and all the models are available are really few. Is there any sort of shortage on them? I'm actually not too sure. I think, as far as I'm aware, there shouldn't be. I have kind of seen a similar thing. It depends on what model you're looking at and depends on where you are. I can't remember. I know you've been on the stream a lot before, but whereabouts in the world are you? Mr. Long, with the RG phone, nice. That is awesome. Has 3 types of connections. Yeah, with the multiple USB Type C ports. Fair play. Yeah, in theory, the what you call it, headphone jack will be the best option for best audio quality. Although you may find that some Type C headphones will have different options and stuff for them, but yeah, generally the audio jack is still the better option. Hello, Rick. How you doing? There is another shortage on the AMD side, and Intel has a chipset shortage. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at that, really. I mean, generally the chipsets are manufactured from a couple of process nodes bigger, so or like larger. So you know, if you're running on say 14 nanometer like we have been for a while, the chipsets will be like 28 or whatever. Do you think the 3700X Ryzen will outperform the Intel i7 8700K? I would hope so. I mean, so we've talked about the hypotheticals for thanks, Rick. We've talked about the hypotheticals for how well Ryzen 3 or Ryzen 3000 series will perform, and so the guessing window here is that the lowest end guess, you know, the worst case scenario is that it's 5-10% faster, you know, kind of like we've seen with the previous jump, right? But then the I guess middle range, the realistic expectation is that you have 10 or 20% faster, and then the very optimistic is that you have 50 or more percent faster. But either way, I don't think you need that much. I mean, I think it already beats the 8700K in terms of multi-thread. I know you're probably talking about single thread there, so I hope so. I hope that that's what AMD is kind of focusing on, because they've got the multi-core setup going quite well, and some optimization on the single thread and single single threaded side of things would be awesome. Thank you, Sebastian. Galaxy Dark, I saw in other places outside my country, Italy, the situation is better, but even really Amazon doesn't have so much option. Okay, right, yeah. So I have noticed that when I'm looking at, say, my Amazon affiliate links for Italy, the majority of people the majority of stuff that's on there just isn't available on the Amazon Italy site, where it is available on, say, Amazon France or Germany. So there doesn't seem to be that many resellers and stuff who are listing their products on Amazon. So I can't speak to that, the actual stock levels too much, but it may just be a case of there's not that much stock getting to your region specifically. But Wapta does have a good point. Have a look on, say, Amazon DE in Germany, and then see if you can order from there and get it shipped to you, because that would be good. The one Dens, are you doing a giveaway still? Yes, that goes live on the 12th, so it's a little bit away yet. Still, like, what, 2 weeks? But that will be going live, and that will be shipping, like the winner will be picked just before Christmas and will be shipped in or around Christmas time. Challenge channel, can you put a keyboard on the Xbox One? I think you can now. Dora Crafter was saying that Bitwit said that it wasn't great, and that so I think in theory it does, but I'm not sure that you would want it to. Will it be worth the jump for the 2700X for 3440 by 1440? So it depends on what performance is like. If it's the middle of the road, then probably not. Like if it's lower expectation or middle expectation, probably not. But if it's the higher expectation, then possibly. But maybe not right away. Maybe even wait for sort of like fourth gen. But we'll just really have to see how well it actually performs before we can then make any sort of judgments. And Rick dropping a $5. I'd rather have a foundry that can deliver AMD than a foundry that promises. Now is the winter of discontent for Intel and maybe Nvidia. So yeah, I mean, to give everyone else context for what he's talking about, AMD used to use Global Foundries. They now use a bit of Global Foundries, but a lot more of TSMC than they used to, because they had an exclusivity deal with Global Foundries. But now Global Foundries has basically stopped caring about like pushing innovation in terms of their smaller process node, whereas TSMC is definitely pushing it, and TSMC has 7 nanometer publicly available, or actually starting to ship now. So that will be interesting to see. That's what AMD is using for, I believe, Navi and the 3rd generation Ryzen chips. On the Intel side of things, the reason that it's the winter of discontent is because Intel has been pouring literally billions of dollars a year into trying to create a 10 nanometer process node, but they've just not been able to do it, which is part of the reason why we've been stuck on basically the same architecture and process node for the last, well, give or take, like 5 years, or like 5 generations at least, if not more. So yeah, interesting. And Nvidia's having shortages with the RTX cards as well. Can I win giveaway? Well, it's random, so that's very nice of you, F7. Hello, PGO. How you doing? How's things? Ashen One, I see you're saying Razer's making a keyboard and mouse for Xbox. That doesn't surprise me. It's almost as if people want a gaming PC. The one Dan's the competition doesn't go live until the 12th of December, so you'll see a video go out about it and tweets and stuff, but it'll just be a Gleam competition. Anyone playing Ring of Elysium, by the way? I haven't played it. I've been thinking about downloading it. I've also been kind of really quite bored by Battle Royale, so I'm not too sure. I have been enjoying some content from Fuglet and Aculite, who are two different YouTube channels that do gaming stuff and have kind of blown up over the last, like, I don't know, year or so. So yeah, recommend checking them out if you want to check out content on them. Yeah, so Fuglet was talking about, yeah, he kind of enjoys it, but yeah. So it is Tencent behind Ring of Elysium. Fortnite is Epic Games, so not the same thing. Can you refuse to review DDR until the manufacturers get off their price fixing asses? Well, actually, I don't think I've ever done a video on DDR4 at very least, and actually, technically, the 8th of December is the first video that I'm ever going to do on it, and it's from a manufacturer that you wouldn't expect to make RAM. So yeah, you can check that out when that's out. But yeah, I hope that it's not too bad. I think pricing is pretty similar though, so I guess we'll have to see. Can I DM you on Discord my setup and tell me your opinion? Sure. You can also just drop it in probably tech support or even just general if you want, because everyone will have a will jump in and have a chat about it. I mean, if you absolutely like loathe your setup, then you can also check out the Pit of Shame. But yeah, there's a link to the Discord in the description of the video here. Tesco's finest. Walmart RAM, nice. Toshiba NAND, that is, so I think that's pretty decent stuff. I know Samsung BDI is I think still technically the better option for Ryzen, but it depends on what you want, and generally that's only for higher speed stuff nowadays. So yeah, actually what's interesting is Toshiba's SSDs are still actually pretty good value. I think they might have even dropped since I last looked at them, but they're actual like NAND flash rather than, you know, RAM, like non-volatile storage, is kind of impressive. What was it, Q300? Okay, that's not as quite as impressive as I remember it, but that's all right. Yeah, but if I put in general tech support, you won't look because I want you to look. I look through the Discord. I chat almost every day. An F7 multitasking. There you go. See. Did you not acknowledge my super chat? I'm sorry. I saw it happen. I like read it, but I was replying to a comment. So just for you, whenever this window starts working, there you go. Super chat plus Patreon equals Jar Jar. Now, what do you think, chat? You gotta let me know. It's in the Pit of Shame. All right. Okay. So that's a Zoostorm PC. Not sure what type of mic that is, and a bass keyboard and semi gaming mouse with a mouse mat. Fair enough. The TV monitor type thing, I can see why you want a new monitor. But yeah. How did I know it was Zoostorm? It said on the front. Notice me, senpai. Hello. What games are you playing currently? Rainbow Six Siege, Rocket League, occasionally Overwatch and occasionally Destiny, occasionally Hearthstone, although not really. Oh yeah, you said what happened to Realm Royale, right? Or who said that? Oh, Ashen One. I've still got it. I've actually still got it installed. I play it with a friend when we want like a casual one, but yeah. No BFA. What? Roger Bruce. Nice. Awesome. It's okay. It's expensive. That's a bit weird. I can't really do like single words. It's got to be like, you know, whole thing. Toshiba failure rate is excellent. Performance is acceptable. Oh, fair play. I've actually not had any RAM fail on me except for one really old, quite like battered Corsair kit. Sam, you need to get him to Jar Jar counseling. In terms of games I'm playing, I also play Project Cars with my racing mill. Want a 980 Ti? Fair play. Fair play. I think they're probably going for fairly cheap secondhand. Remake the 1900K video in Jar Jar. Hell no. The mouse is £30. It's called Firestar. Fair enough. What motherboard do you recommend for an AC700K? Anything Z370. ASUS by MSI will do a pretty good job. It depends on what sort of price range you want to go in. I can never really remember. But like I think Gigabyte Z370 like Ultra Gaming is probably pretty decent. Ace Phoenix, dude, have you played Red Dead Redemption 2? No, I haven't. It's not really my thing, and I also don't have a current gen console, so no. Hello Luca, how you doing? Rick wants another 2 Vegas. You say another 2. Do you already have 2? And if so, why? So I was thinking about changing out my 3 120mm up in the front for 2 240s. I take it you meant 2 140s. Less airflow, but do you think the noise will be noticeably lower? Is it something that you can like audibly hear normally, or is it like only when it's quiet, or what? How bad is the noise? You can't even run 768p, and there's people that can play 2160p. You have to downscale the resolution. I mean, fair play. It's kind of, so the Zoostorm PCs weren't the most impressive in terms of specs, if I remember rightly. So fair play. What's the spec of your system? It's not too bad, but I have 6 fans, 3 in the front, 2 for AIO and 1 for rear, so it's notably constant, but not that bad. So yeah, in theory, shoving, like swapping them out could be useful. The other thing that I might suggest is, depending on how you've got them connected, either getting a fan controller, or changing the fan curves, so that the system would run a bit hotter but quieter. It's yeah. Nice one, Chris. Good luck. And yes, hello Monax, how you doing? Had a good performance review meeting at work. Nice. I can't tell if you're you're ironic or not. HD 6530D. Wow, okay. Okay. Good luck. Because if you can't run with 1 Vega, simply add more. The gains are huge. The 1% lows are reasonable with Gen 2 Ryzen and 3400 plus megahertz. Fair play. Fair enough. Out of interest, how many games that you play are supported by Crossfire? I'd be very interested to know. My manager said they're proactive and happy to pay for my CCNA Security Plus. Awesome. Well, that's good then. Did I miss something? I feel like I did. Oh, the graphics card. Yeah, good luck with running much. You should be able to upgrade though. Check if the power supply is anywhere near reasonable, what wattage it is, and if it has even just a 6-pin PCIe connector. If it does, then you can throw, and even if you don't, even if it doesn't, you can throw something like a 1050 in there, or even some 1050 Ti's are still passive. I know you're hurting for money, but if you can get some, then that's a recommended option. If it doesn't happen, I'll end up doing $100 patron for it. Well, that would be impressive. I don't know why, but like I don't know why you would, but fair enough. All the games, if I want to play a game that favors Nvidia, then I switch to my 290 Ti's. I mean, fair enough. Like, as in you actually switch them out, or do you have a separate system? Seems like a lot of work. Those glasses suit you, thank you. I spent like a month trying to work out which pairs I should what I should buy. And yeah, I'm not actually that blind. Like I can live without them. Although after I've been wearing them for a while, I get a bit cross-eyed when I take them off. But I can still actually see. It's just specifically my right eye is well, both eyes have astigmatism, but the right eye's a bit worse. So like looking through the right eye, even text close up is blurry. I'm farsighted, nearsighted. Stuff that's far away is blurry. So in theory, they're for like driving and like when I'm out and about. But I do see a noticeable difference when I'm like at my desk as well. So I tend to wear them. They're giving me a bit of a headache though. I might go through every stream and make a Jar Jar compilation. I mean, if you have nothing better to do. My Clevo P170EM just had its HD 7970 die. Any thoughts on a reasonable replacement laptop? Have no clue about modern graphics. Something that's going to be a little bit faster, if not similar, is going to be something like a Acer Nitro 5. You can get the Ryzen one with a 560X, or you can get the Intel one with 1050 or 1050 Ti. Both of them are under £1,000, and they're both really impressive laptops. I have the Ryzen one, and I'm perfectly happy with it. If you wanted to spend closer to the £1,000 mark, then the I think MSI GL or GP. I can't remember I always forget the names. So the GP ones, wow, they've gone up in price. So you can get you can get a GE for £1,000. So I'll drop some links in the chat for you so you can see what I'm recommending. So that's the GE. And then the Acer Nitro 5. See if I can find both options. There's the Ryzen one, which is that, and then, but that doesn't have an SSD. Why does that one not have an SSD? And that's the older one of that. Oh Jesus, I do kind of hate Amazon for searching stuff sometimes because it's really unorganized, and like, as much as they spend time trying to work out like what you want, right. Well, I'll link you to the one that doesn't have the SSD, but I recommend getting the one with the SSD. So that's the Nitro 5 with that one, and then is that one currently unavailable as well? Yeah. useful. This is technically the older gen one, but has a 1050, so ever so slightly faster. But there you go. That's a couple of suggestions for you. Yeah, PC specialists do some decent ones as well. Kind of depends what you're after. Remove Windows 10 in the options. True. The Acer X34P is £650 on box at the moment, so no, I'm buying on payday tomorrow. I mean, fair enough. The one Dan's, are you not hungry? Oh right, okay. So you've got but does that not still right? Okay, but that still requires a system reboot, right? So that's quite a rare setup to have, but fair enough. Is a PC specialist oh right, okay. PC specialist has served you well for 6 years. Nice, cool. Yeah, they do have some interesting ones. Even in the more budget range. I can't remember what graphics options they offer on the lower end. Let me have a quick look. In fact, why don't we look together? If I can remember where my streaming software is. Right, there we go. Center screen. With my face. Hello, face. So you probably don't want one of those. Integrated graphics, 1050. So maybe that. Because if you want like 1060, so in theory this would be one of the better options to get, right? Like if you configure this one. But I suspect that even if you went with the quad core, you would want probably 16 gigs of RAM. But then if you went with the 1060, you're over £1,000 with just a single SSD. So meh. And then I think you'd be even more with this, because this again is single SSD, and as soon as you press to the 1060, yeah. I mean, how I would spec it if I was buying one of these, then it would probably be storage drive, so 1 terabyte, and then so that would be how I would spec it. But that's £1,300. So yeah, oh, it's under 1,000 Windows. Sure. Well, sort of, right? Because if you go 1 terabyte hard drive and a 250 gig SSD. But then take away Windows, wherever it is. Oh, wow, Jesus. Windows is expensive as hell. I highly recommend you do that, by the way. But yeah, so there you go. That is an option if you want to spend just less than £1,000, although that is with the i5. If you go for the i7, which is probably what you would recommend there, then you go over 1,000. Cool. Make default browser DuckDuckGo. Yeah, probably should. X370 Crosshair is good price right now. Is it better to buy than new for the same price? What CPU are you using, Delios? Hello, Vassal. How you doing? $2,700. So yeah, in theory, as long as the board has had a BIOS update, it's perfectly fine. It's not really it's not a big deal. There really isn't much of a difference. And the Crosshair is definitely capable of holding a 2700 even overclocked. So yeah. Because that's what I have. Just down where the glow is coming from. Although I'm running a 1700X on it instead of a second gen. Yeah. Wandans and Sam are talking about mouse mats in the old Discord. First gen peasant, eh? I know. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I don't know if anyone can see that, but that's like a pile of graphics cards. I forgot that I did the graphics card like what to buy video this week or last week, and I was tidying upstairs. Oops. They're meant to be on the shelf. What cards are they? So there's an RTX 2070. Is the 2080 Ti? Oh, the 2080 Ti is in the system, and then there's a 1070, a 1080, a 1080 Ti, and a 1060, and then I think an RX 580. Yeah, that's it. You and your piles of stuff, I know, right? Hey, at least I finally made use of the monitor like 6 months ago. Speaking as a Haswell peasant, nice. Mouse pads are a very interesting topic. What do you mean? Oh, I've got a full desk mouse mat on that one, and that one. Actually, I'm genuinely very surprised by the OC UK Overclockers UK mouse pad mat that's there, because it perfectly fits that desk, like literally to the millimeter. It's a perfect size. I know that that's a generic IKEA desk that I bought secondhand, but the fact that it perfectly fits it is just quite nice. Round 2. Oh, you're gonna play Snake on your keyboard. Nice. Oh, it's so satisfying. I know, right? Oh, that's the desk you game on, isn't it? So, of course you like it. Died again. For reference, Duragamer is playing Snake on one of these. Come on, cable, don't fail me now. Oh wait, it's a detachable cable. He's playing on one of these, which is a Killmaster Master Keys Pro L. You can play Snake on them, because why not? And sorry for the noises. It's the best keyboard. It is. It genuinely is. I very much like it, and not for the fact that you can play Snake on it. I mean, it's cool, but I only ever did it once, and that was for filming it. So, but yeah, that's it's really quite nice. Me likey. What key switches did you get, Chris? Luca, you always say the most random stuff. A lot of burglaries. Browns, good man, good man. Actually, everyone, vote in the chat here. What's your favorite like color of key switch? So cherry blues or browns, reds. Nice one, Luca. Browns, blue or red? You're weird, Wapted. Browns, fair play. Browns, good man, Nath. I mean, I think that's the only keyboard I've ever, only type of keyboards I've ever given you, so yeah. Brown's good. Anyone who says the Razer keys are auto banned. Squishy membrane. Why, Colin? Why? Apple butterfly, you sinner. i3 7100, Asus 1050, 8 gig of RAM, 2 megabits upload. Can I stream? I would use NVENC, and I would use a very low bitrate. Possibly. Quality might suffer. I type with 2 fingers. Okay, fair play. I love my 2006 Apple keyboard, best for office. I mean, fair enough. I bought washers for my keys. Washers or O-rings? Because those are different. Who did I? Was it? Can't remember. Okay, thanks. By the way, Razer Black Widow green switches are pretty cool. Which one's the greens? Are they the... Ah, greens are blues. And then the oranges... Yeah, so the oranges are browns and the yellows are reds. Because that's the thing. Keyboard was leaky, O-rings, nice. Could have just silent reds. I mean, fair enough. Razer greens are so annoying. Okay, I'm convinced me what board to buy with macro keys. Jeez, I haven't seen a keyboard with macro keys in a while. What keyboards have macro keys these days? I cannot remember. Logitech? Yeah, there you go, Logitech. I think the Corsair high-end one, like the K95, which is stupidly expensive, but the Corsair K95 does have micro keys. Green is the default color of Razer, so they think cherry blue is the correct one. Yeah, I think so. I'm using HyperX Cloud 2, so can't really hear them. So they're cool for me, fair enough. They're just not cool for anyone nearby you. But yeah, fair play. I was surprised with the Coolmaster MS120 that I got from my son, Memcanical, I think they call it, was chuffed with the price. Yeah, it's so those sorts of Memcanical ones are definitely interesting. I've used a few different, like the Razer Ornata. That's a Memcanical switch. I think for me, really, it's kind of the worst of both worlds personally, because you get the loud, annoying click of like blue or Razer green mechanical switches, and you get the squishy full bottoming outness of membranes. But that's me, who has had a mechanical keyboard for the last 5-6 years. Yeah, I'm a little biased. I should point out, by the way, in February, I'll have been like making videos for YouTube for 7 years. At the end of February. That's stupid. I'm happy to say that it's very fun and still pretty rewarding, so thank you guys for making that possible. Is it okay to buy used video cards? Yeah, it's fine. Just make sure you don't get scammed, and make sure you like if it's coming from a like cryptocurrency mining rig, then it's going to be running been ran pretty hard, so can't necessarily guarantee its longevity, but generally speaking, yeah, it's perfectly fine. They tend only to sort of die catastrophically. Otherwise, they tend to just live on forever. And so when people upgrade, they try and sell their old ones on. So yeah. Lol, I've never bought a new one. Fair play. We need more growth. You're telling me. I've only been doing it seriously for 4 years. So I went from like 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers to the 42,000 that we have now, so it's enough to pay for the rent and all, so that's fine. It's actually kind of funny. I was talking to F7 Kev, who isn't here tonight, and a few other people on the Moneyman Discord about all of us YouTubers had a bit of an uptick on Black Friday. What was interesting though is that my YouTube revenue quadrupled for those days. It's not, it's still not much, but it's yeah, the fact that it quadrupled. So yeah, I could get a room for 500 a month. I get my house for that. Like it's a 2 and a bit bedroom semi-detached house with a separated living room and dining room that's now a living room. It's definitely large for the money. Ouch, Wapted. K63 wireless mechanical for 76 pounds. That's impressive. Yeah, I have one upstairs. Highly recommended. Really nice. Depends what key switch you want. But yeah. Arsis 1066 gig or RX 588 gig, both MSI. Which one should I choose? The RX 580 is in theory going to be a bit faster in general, so the RX 580 is probably the better shout. You get better drivers in my opinion, but it depends what you fancy feature set wise and stuff. That's my mortgage, mate. Good luck. Dang, a house for the cost of a room. I know, right? My rent is nothing because I live with my parents. GG, you freeloader. Is Wapted and Luca gonna have a meetup in the Bristol? Freeloading, those are the days. Not for me. They'll start charging you when you're old enough. They'll try. Still in Plymouth for a couple of weeks. Nice. I own a tent. Loophole. No. Do you have any tips to upgrade my internet if it's pretty slow? So beyond getting a aftermarket router, which it can actually make a fairly significant difference to your ISP supply bond, depending on what you use. You can try, as Lucas says, changing your name server, your DNS server to the Cloudflare ones, so 11111, 1111, and 1001. But otherwise, then just paying for a better connection or kicking up as much of a fuss as you possibly can with your ISP to get them to upgrade your connection. Can't charge him if he spends all his money on Patreon. He wishes. Actually, I got 2 of these in the post today. These are encrypted hard drives. I'm quite excited to have a play with them. But they're from iStorage. They come in like a nice travel case. This is it. So it's like an actual like pin code one. Has a USB 3 connection. This is actually the SSD one, which is quite cool. This is a 512 gig SSD. This is sort of 2.5-inch form factor, but there's also I've also got a 1 terabyte SSD or 1 terabyte hard drive that's the same configuration, obviously just not quite as shock proof. They're meant to be IP56 rated, so you not submerge them, but like sort of splash proof. Yeah, I'll be interested to have a play with them because they're obviously like quite, in theory, quite secure. They're epoxied inside, so anyone who thought, oh, we'll just, you know, like open it up and put the drive somewhere, they're epoxied in, so it's quite difficult to get at apparently. Obviously the SSD is in theory a bit more secure than the hard drive one, but realistically I think they're pretty similar. So basically you just plug them in, put your pin code in, and then it unencrypts the drive or unlocks the drive and lets you use it. But what's interesting is that there's actually a failsafe mode where if you put in your passcode wrong 15 consecutive times, which obviously, you know, generally means you're probably trying to crack it. So if you put in 15 times, it automatically wipes the private key, which unlocks the drive. It doesn't actually wipe the drive, it just wipes the private key, which is kind of funny, but yeah, it nukes the drive. So you don't want to lose this if you have any very important non-backed up data on it, but it's quite cool, so I'll be interested to have a play. I need to film them first before I get go any further. Could you open it up? No. Unless I want to destroy them. No, I couldn't. Should I get a GB 120 SSD for €25? Will it be enough for Windows 10? Is it worth it? So it's definitely small by sort of today's standards, but it's still going to be fine. It's still going to be enough for you know, kind of installing the OS and any essential programs. But yeah, that should be pretty decent. You use that to smuggle IP out of your company if they let you in with it. Bear in mind, I used to have a 64 gig SSD in my last PC. Ouch. How? I think the smallest SSD I've ever had in my system was 120 gig. So, yeah. If you upload to Google Drive, your company can't see it. I mean, if they have packet sniffing, then they can. I have a mate with a 64 gig SSD. Ouch. Curry's got my 76 quid. Will feedback on the Corsair over the next few weeks. Nice one. Yeah, I'll be interested to hear. Your company really is a meme sometimes, Luca. Hello, Starman. How you doing? We use Darktrace. Oh, what about Wireshark? I got told off for uploading to Google Drive. Nice. I want a 500 gig NVMe SSD. Don't we all? Where did I put that? Is that still in that one? I'm terrible for misplacing things. I kind of forget sometimes. Hello, Banter. How you doing? Or ET. Just had nothing to say yet. Fair enough. Why am my phone blowing up? Group chats. Damn. Anyone got any last minute tech questions or anything? I just realized that neither Stein nor Kev are here. So can't really give them shoutouts this week. Want to play Rocket League? I think Nathan will probably want to not play that, but if Nate's down. That was a shout out. Okay, cool. Daughter just bought me a 3D printer today. Nice one. Which one? It's 3D printing is genuinely awesome. It's kind of it'll be interesting to see how you get on with it. And depending on which one you have, it can be easier or a bit harder. Because there can be a lot of configuration issues and calibration issues, you might say. So yeah, good luck. The amount of landfill people make with 3D printers is depressing. True. Anycubic i3 Mega. i3 sounds like a Prusa i3, so yeah, definitely good luck with calibration, because I basically have a Prusa i3. I have an Anet A8, which is a blatant copy. So yeah, you'll have to spend some time fiddling with calibration, but once you do, should be pretty good. Oh, I got a new DSLR, so no more Galaxy S8 footage and videos. Nice. Has auto leveling. That's good. I have trouble with my my end stop micro switches. Also, hype guys, highest CO2 levels we've seen in a long time. I know. I'm trying to design something that could potentially help quite a lot with that. Or not with the CO2 levels, but with the whole, like, you know, Earth has far too much heat in it, energy in it. But I don't think that would necessarily work that well. It's called plants. Well, yes, that is one way to do it. It's quite hard to get it out of the atmosphere, though. Is it a giant ice cube? Sadly, not quite. We're cutting down trees at a record rate. We are indeed. Don't use palm oil. That is also a great option. It's actually really annoying when you look at how to, like, you go to, you know, Tesco or whatever, and you go down especially the chocolate biscuit aisle, which is obviously like the better aisle to be down. Just everything. So I tried to buy a cake, right? Just like a value cake. The palm oil was in not only the chocolate that was on it, but also the actual cake itself. This is an interesting chat. I'm gonna leave you guys to it. You can go watch Bake Off if you like. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. Obviously plenty of other videos over the week. I can't remember what's actually coming out this week. What we got? Oh, the 9900K in 2080 build guide, so you can check that out. And then BenQ 4040p 141st monitor on the what GPU to 5 video. So yeah. What's the foil triangles? Insulation, because this room gets pretty cold at winter. So yeah. Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. No worries, Colin. Yeah, have a good night. We'll see you all next week, and obviously videos in between. See you guys.